Damn. Man, it's your boy Tony right here. Once again on Stories Written by a Current Prisoner. Man, do me a favor and hit that like button for your boy right now. Just grinding, doing this thing, and trying to bring you the exclusive prison stories. You know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and waste no time at all and dive right into it.
Dustin Withers, man.
Yeah.
Ignorant situation that sticks out in your mind right now. Maybe of somebody that got removed, a brother that was politicked against. Something that doesn't sit well with you, something that even till today it bothers you. Like, man, that shouldn't have happened. This guy was a good individual. This guy put in his bid. He did the most for the set. Was there anything like that sticks out in your mind?
Yeah, I got a couple of situations that I know that were pretty fucked up. Well, for example, Curtis Hollis. Yeah, that's my friend. We call him Kurt Lowe. He was a Nazi lowrider out of San Diego. He's related to the Rawlinsons, two brothers, Danny and Gordon Rawlinson. You can look at your history up. They were Quentin brothers back in the days. They were original ones. There was a movie with Danny Dog in it. You've seen it, American Me. But so he's related to him. Well, he was always a good dude, the whole 9 yards. Stood down, and he got sold out behind. Another brand member came down, from the Bay. Well, it came from the county to Donovan, and that's really pretty much our backyard. It's a San Diego politics, and you don't have heavy hitters down there very often. You know what I mean? And so he came through, and I knew certain things about the dude. I knew he was in trouble. I knew he was doing wrong over the bad. I knew that we had stolen money, but no one was listening to me. So I threw my bid out there, and that's when I made my side as far as side with the ride. And he was just following his orders from our commander-in-chief at the time, Rusty, who we found out later was single-cell walk-along.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
And he was debriefing, although we didn't know it. We're just going through the process of getting validated at the time. This is January 29, 1999, when they first landed us the first round. We got validated as a prison gang. Before that, we were a disruption group. But he's there, and he's done his good work, did his bidding, did everything right. Just as a white dude, and because he was vocal about being a Nazi lowrider, 2 other dudes held him down while Rick Madsen stabbed him 4 or 5 times. And Rick did that because he knew what was coming, And it's like, I felt bad that I should have been out there, and that should have never happened that way. Another one of my partners, Casey, he USAS, he's a good guy, never did nothing wrong. But behind somebody else's bullshit that happened on the Bay, his whole squad got put in a hat. He didn't see it coming. They stabbed him like 18 times, and they got him good. He refused to walk off the yard, though, and he refused to go off in the ambulance or anything. He's like, no, I'm walking off the yard, even though half his guts were hanging out. But that one, the biggest one that I really didn't appreciate, I didn't think that was right. There was another one probably where, Popeye got killed. Another Nazi lowrider by a dude named Rex. It's all history. I don't give a fuck about these dudes. He got killed in his sleep 80-some days in the pad because he wouldn't kill his best friend Hitler because his wife was half black. And so dude took advantage of the situation, killed him, called him a race traitor, said, look, I'm not doing that. I'm not... the homeboy Hitler and his old lady was half black. They grew up together, though. They got kids, everything. And she's running for the homeboys, and they're all the white boys, everybody. So it's like, but someone pushed that line and said that, hey, look, homeboys, pushing the race trade line, blah, 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 right? Dude said, look, nah, I'm going to fucking hit him for that. I ain't doing none of that. That's my best friend. You guys handle that shit. And because he said no, they played it out till it was cool. Wait till they had some tool in there. Dude stabbed him like 37 times, but the first one went straight through his chest. Dude had 88-something days to go. He was going to parole, go home, had a wife and kid, working. Good dude. And dude killed him just because he could, because he wanted to make a name for himself. He did it in his sleep, like a coward. That bothered me. That's probably one of the biggest ones that I hated right there. When the ride was getting killed and we were getting hit for no reason. I wanted to be out there. I wanted to do what I could to fight. While other guys, I know the battle's downhill in prison. At least, there was only a few of us that have what it takes to get busy under the gun. You know what I mean? A comrades weren't like that. There was only a few of us that were cut from the same cloth. They had the mentality to, as a stone cold killer. Do you understand what I'm saying? Them dudes, so yeah, right there, yeah, I still don't agree with it. You know what I mean? And I could go on, but those are like the top three at the top of my head.
Keep going. Is there anything else that you can keep going if you want?
Yeah, I'd have no problem, bro. Look, and like I said, for me, I'm like this. I don't like the fact about, like, for example, my homeboy Chucky, remember Forrest? He was going to talk to you and all that, and you know his history, right? He never called you back, you know what I mean? But, of course, because he wanted to make sure that none of this would fall down on him, right? But he got in a situation, right, where, he got into it. Another brother was campaigning and whatnot. He got made young, youngest brand member in the feds, made by Milton Huff. That name goes a long way. Then he went out there and he was doing his thing, doing the right thing, looking out for everybody, had all the connections, and ended up, his wife got shot. He ended up bridging the gap between the Hells Angels in California and the brand, because there's been a green light on them guys for a long time, but he did in the feds. And it's because his dad was a Hell's Angel, and he picked up where I started. I started bridging that gap back in the 90s, 95, 96, 97. As a young Dago mob, I had a mob rocker on my chest, one of the youngest ones to run counties and whatnot for them guys, I ran for Billy Penske and Joe Evans. These are all names, Guy Castiglione, even Dame O'Hammer. Even he's dead, but all these guys, I went into prison, became a Nazi lowrider, but still held my affiliation with the Red Mine out there, and I started bringing homeboys around and bridging the gap. Didn't do it with the brand because, like I said, but I started vouching for I started bringing people around, started bringing other convicts and making the connections, you know what I mean? Because once you know that, business gets done, it gets done right, well then bygones are bygones and it's a new era, right? So, I started it, Chucky closed it. He never got a fair shake behind that. They didn't give him a chance. They didn't school him the right way. They used him up, and it's like he didn't have enough time to get taught the right way about how to do things. He was just young, dumb, and had heart. And and the thing was that he didn't understand the situation of how it works. There's good brothers, there's bad brothers. And once they're fully indoctrinated, you got, like I said, a light brother and a dark brother. You could say they're like day and night. You got the good ones. Well, I'm talking about the brand. You got the good ones, and they go down one path, and the other one chooses the high path. The right way and the wrong way, or the left-hand path. I got into this with you before, but the thing is that if you're going to school somebody and take the time to indoctrinate them, you don't make them over a 2-year period of time and tell them do it. They owe one, and then use them and abuse them. Do you understand?
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
There's a long tradition learning how to make somebody and bringing out their tools and using it for good. You can use you can use good to fight bad and be bad being bad. Do you understand what I'm saying? But if you don't let nobody know what they got and what they're doing, you're just having them cause havoc and chaos, and in the process, people get killed. So my friend Chucky, he got into it, and I warned him. I gave him a heads up because I know what kind of cat he is. Loyal, wants to be that guy, but he doesn't understand the whole picture. He sees it from a gangster's perspective. I look at that from a mobster's perspective. The difference between the two is what? Gangsters running a pack. It takes a group of them to control it. Mobsters, this one guy here can walk into a room and control the whole situation by sheer will, respect, loyalty. That's how I did it. I had people doing things for me because they wanted to, not because I manipulated them or bent them over a barrel. I protected and worked with my people. It was an old school way of taking care of your own. Knowing what tools you have, bringing the best out of people, making sure everyone eats for a cause, not just to be somebody, not just to hurt. And you know what I mean? They went wrong. I know the history. I know what it should have been. They went wrong. That's all I can say, Tony. You know what I mean? That was my biggest gripe. They never took any one of us lowriders in there.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
I gotta go. I got another.